Alright, so here we have some Chupa Chups cotton bubblegum, tutti frutti flavour, which so it's like cotton candy and it turns into bubblegum. We have scented cherry lips, Choc Lick, zombie Bombz. These are meant to be really hot and sour, and then Riverstones. So let's take a look at the Riverstones first. Oh, and one's fallen out. Yeah, as you can probably tell, I've already opened this bag because I had a few of them last night and I really like them a lot. So let's take a closer look at these. So, not really sure where these originate from. As you can see, we've got some kind of foreign language on this. I'm guessing it's from somewhere in Europe. That's how it comes across anyway. So it says sweets there, and 1911. And you've got a picture of a boy and a girl there. Lovely sweets. And let's take a look at the back. And it says Riverstones. And you've got an email address there, phone number. Okay, since I'm reading La there, maybe it's, could it be French? I'm not really sure. Though it kind of doesn't look French. Honestly, don't know. And we've got a website there as well. So yeah, as you can see, you get quite a lot in the bag. It's pretty heavy. I already had quite a few of these last night and I really enjoyed them. Now on the Treasure Island Sweets website it says that these are lemon flavoured, so I was expecting them to all be lemon flavoured. And the first one that I had, it was lemon flavoured. But then the second one, I was really surprised it wasn't a lemon flavour. I'm not really sure what flavour it was. I'm not really sure how many flavours there are, but I did recognise that some of them are orange flavour, so some are lemon, some are orange, and then others, it's kind of hard to tell what flavour they are. But yeah, let's take a closer look at the actual Riverstones themselves. Let's just grab a big handful there. So we've got like several, whoops. So we've got like several different colours there. We've got white, grey, brown, black. I think that's all the different types. And we've got some like off grey ones there. So as you can see, they do indeed look like Riverstones or little pebbles. They are quite realistic looking actually. There's a grey one. We've got brown there and kind of off brown or off grey or whatever. Black one there. Yeah, so yeah, let's try one. So that one did seem to be lemon flavoured, and you can kind of see how the inside looks there. So it is hard candy. Now that one, the flavour kind of reminds me of flowers. Let's try a brown one. I think that brown one was orange, so yeah, these are really, really nice. They've got like a really nice, tangy, fizzy flavour. They're just really, really awesome. And like I said, you get quite a lot in the bag. You know, I've not had that many of these so far. So before I opened the bag, maybe the level was about up to there, just a tiny bit higher or something. But yeah, these are really, really good. So I'll give these a 10 out of 10. They are really, really good. So what shall I try next? Let's try these scented cherry lips. So I remember how back in the day when I was actually going to school, there was a shop near to my school, and sometimes I'd go into the shop and I would buy cherry lips, and I really like them. From what I remember, they were in like a cardboard kind of, I want to say tube, because you know, it's kind of like a long cardboard box that they're in, but it wasn't tube shaped, it was like pyramid shaped, if that makes any sense. And I'm sure they cost something like 25p. So that was like back in, around 1988, 1989. So let's see if there's anything interesting on the front of this. No, not really. So on Treasure Island Sweets, they say that these are not cherry tasting and that you could describe them as tasting as soap. But yeah, let's give these a try. So I've lost my knife. I've got absolutely no idea where it could be. And yeah, let's check out that aroma. They kind of smell like cherries, perfume and soap all rolled into one, I guess. So that's how they look. Let's try this out. So they are very chewy. They're basically gummy sweets, but hard gummy sweets. And that's how I remember them back in the day. I don't know if these are the same brand as the ones that I got back in the day. I couldn't really tell you how similar the flavour of these are to the ones that I had back in the day, because it was just so many years ago. We're talking like back in around 1988 or whatever. There was one brief moment where I kind of got this flash of nostalgia from the flavour, as though maybe these do taste exactly like how they did back in the day, but then that just kind of disappeared, and it's not happened again while eating it. So I don't know really. The flavour is kind of strange. It's not really, doesn't really taste of cherry. It kind of has like a soapy perfume flavour, but not in a bad way. It's, you know, it's in quite a pleasant way. But the flavour does seem a bit weak. So overall, these are not too bad. They are fairly pleasant. I will give them a 6 out of 10. That's mainly because, you know, I would have scored them higher, but because the flavour is quite weak, that's why I'm only going to give them a 6 out of 10. If it was stronger, then I'm thinking I'll probably give them about a 7 out of 10. You know, they're fairly pleasant. So let's try the Choc Lick next. So on Treasure Island Sweets, it says that, you know, obviously it's you know, mainly chocolate, and it contains bits of nuts and all types of goodies. And they say something like it's got the consistency of crumbled up digestive biscuits. So let's see if there's anything interesting on the front there. So I'm thinking maybe this will be the strongest ASMR part of the video. God, there's a lot of ingredients in this. We've got syrup, treacle, apples, walnuts, hazelnuts, coconut, golden syrup, peppermint oil. So is it going to kind of have a bit of a minty flavour to it? Fruit and vegetable concentrates, lemon, can't really read that, carrot I think, red cabbage, beeswax. Okay, so those are some pretty crazy ingredients. I remember having this back in the day, many years ago. They used to sell it in the shops. You'd get it like in a paper bag, and I think you just kind of pour the paper bag into your mouth, or maybe pour it into your hand and then shove it into your mouth that way. I can't really remember, but I remember it being pretty damn nice. So yeah, let's try this out. Let's check out that aroma. That smells absolutely beautiful. It smells of chocolate, but there's something else there as well, I think. I think maybe it kind of reminds me of wheat fields or something, a little bit. I think that's probably the nicest chocolate aroma I've ever smelled in my life, but yeah, let's try some of this out. So, put a bunch into my hand, so it's like a really fine powder there, and you've got kind of chunky bits. Here it goes. That tastes pretty nice, but it's nothing like how I can actually remember that the Choc Lick that I had back in the day didn't really taste like this. I think it just mainly tasted of chocolate, whereas with this it kind of, you can taste chocolate, but you can taste like, there's like a digestive biscuit flavour there as well, which is about as strong as the chocolate flavour. And I guess it's kind of got the consistency of like kind of crumbled up chocolate digestive biscuits. So I guess it's pretty much like getting a bunch of digestive chocolate biscuits, smashing them up into like little pieces, like into a fine powder with like little kind of blocky bits in it, and then just eating that. This is what this seems to pretty much taste like. I just noticed there's like a caramel flavour there as well. What would be more accurate to describe this is a bunch of crushed up chocolate caramel digestive biscuits. That's pretty much what it tastes like. So what would I give this out of 10? I don't know whether to give it an 8 or a 9 out of 10, so I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. It is pretty damn good. So yeah, the time period that I remember Choc Lick from is probably the very early 90s, either the very early 90s or the very late 80s, but I'm really sure it was the very early 90s, like 1990, 1991. So let's check this out. So this is Chupa Chups Cotton Bubblegum. I've never had this before. And what's really interesting about it is that it starts off as cotton candy. That's what it's called in America. In the UK, people say candy floss. And it turns into bubblegum. And it's tutti frutti flavour there. And you've got some tiny writing there. It's kind of a strange thing to write on the packet. This drawing is a fancy representation of the product. Kind of, I don't know, it kind of makes as much sense as saying this drawing on the front of the packet is a cartoon picture. Anyway, let's see if there's anything interesting on the back here. Bubblegum with fruit flavour. Oh, that's it, that's the only English bit. Got lots of foreign writing there. Yep, not really anything interesting at all. So let's open this. Check out that aroma. Man, that smells absolutely beautiful. I'm not over exaggerating, that's probably the nicest bubblegum smell I've ever smelled in my life. It's reminding me of bubblegum from the 80s, but I'm not sure which one. Kind of like maybe strawberry Hubba Bubba mixed a little bit with that bubblegum which tasted like Germaline or antiseptic. I think it was called Double Bubble. And you get like two smiley face tattoos with it. I don't know if any of you remember those. But yeah, let's take this out. It's quite interesting. It's all kind of compacted. I'll rip some off. It's crumbling. It's like very weak cotton wool. But yeah, let's give this a try. That actually wasn't anywhere near enough. It just kind of really quickly dissolved in my mouth, and there's like barely any chewing gum in my mouth. So let's take a bigger bit, and we will try that. Should see the mess behind the camera. I've got like chocolate dust all over me, got cotton candy dust all over me, and on the floor as well. But yeah, this is pretty nice. The flavour doesn't taste as nice as the aroma. It's not. It does still taste pretty nice, but it's nowhere near as strong as the aroma. But let's see if we can fluff this up more, so it's a lot more like cotton candy. Well, it's kind of hard to, because it just like disintegrates. But yeah, it's just basically like cotton candy. When you put it in your mouth, it's basically like cotton candy at first, and then as you're chewing it, it just changes into chewing gum. Okay, while it's actually as cotton candy in your mouth, the flavour is actually, the bubblegum flavour is actually quite strong, so it's really, really nice. But when it turns to gum, and it quickly turns to gum, the flavour just kind of quickly fades, and then it's just kind of a bit of a weak bubblegum flavour. But overall, I think I'll give this a 10 out of 10. It tastes nice, it's a really interesting novelty. You know, I think kids will probably love this. And yeah, so I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. As far as the flavour is concerned itself, I would say at first when it's strong, I think maybe I'd give it a 9 out of 10. But then when it turns to gum, I guess I'll give it a 6 out of 10, because the flavour is quite nice, but it's just really weak. So lastly, we have these zombie Bombz. So on Treasure Island Sweets it says that they are extremely hot and sour. They contain chili and citric acid. We've got citric acid, I can't even talk properly. We've got citric acid, malic acid, which I've never heard of before, chili powder. Excessive consumption within a brief time period may cause temporary mouth and or stomach irritation. You know, I've had really sour sweets before, and after having quite a lot of them, they'll make me tongue sore, but I've never heard of or experienced, you know, your stomach being irritated by really hot or sour things. But yeah, let's open this. Check out the aroma. I couldn't really explain to you what the aroma is like. It doesn't smell of much. It reminds me of something, but I can't think of what. Yeah, let's take a look at one of these. So it kind of reminds me of, like, I don't know, meteorite or something. But yeah, let's give this a try. Well, so straight away, that's really, really sour, and I think the heat is still building. The heat is fairly strong. Yeah, I'm not personally finding this sourness and the heat to be overpowering, but I am finding them to be very strong. I've had sweets in the past which are so sour, I'll find it almost impossible to keep them in my mouth. I think they were an American candy, I can't remember what they were called. I had them several years ago. Now that sourness seems to have gone away, and the heat seems to have died down a bit. I'm probably about a minute into it. Now it's got like a really nice fizzy flavour, and it seems to be getting sour again, like more sour again. So it's actually turned black. It's not chewy, it's a hard-boiled sweet. I think maybe there could be some sherbet in this. Kind of seems as though there's like a fizziness coming out of it, which I think might be sherbet. But yeah, that heat, it's really died down now. Every time I get a hit of that like fizziness, like the sherbet or whatever, it gets more sour again. Yeah, I'm sure sherbet's coming out of it. I couldn't describe to you what the flavour is. I guess it's like some sort of fruit flavour. Maybe kind of orange and lemon. I'm not really sure. Gonna crunch it up now, see what it's like. That crunched up a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be a lot harder to crunch, but that was actually, these are actually really, really nice. I like them a lot. You know, when the heat was at its strongest, I would say it's about the same as the chicken vindaloo from Tesco, which I did a review on several months ago. Like I said, for me, these are very, very sour, very, very hot, but not so much that it's unbearable, you know, not so much that it's unpleasant. You know, I really enjoyed it. They might be a bit too much for some kids, or maybe most, like, little kids. I'm not really sure, but yeah, these are, you know, at first I thought, you know, they're probably just going to be like a novelty. They're just kind of like really hot, really sour, and that's kind of all there is to them. They may not even taste that great, you know, they may not even really taste of much at all. They're just hot and sour, but they actually taste really, really nice. So, you know, these sweets, they're more than just a novelty. They're more than just the novelty factor of being really hot and really sour, but I really love that novelty factor. I really love the combination of heat and sourness. So, and they taste great as well. And it seems like the sherbet inside them, which I really, really like. So I'm actually going to give these zombie bombs a 10 out of 10. These are really, really good, and I will buy these again. So, today I reviewed Riverstones, absolutely awesome. Cherry Lips, they're okay. Say they're above average. They're nothing that special, but fairly pleasant. Choc Lick, which is pretty good, pretty nice. Cotton bubblegum, not bad at all. Zombie bombs, which I think are just awesome. Yeah, you know, if you like hot things, sour things, or whatever, and you find the combination of hot and sour together to be quite interesting, maybe you've never tried that before, I totally recommend picking these up from Treasure Island Sweets. So, yeah, overall, this bunch of sweets that I've had in this video, 5 different sweets, overall, they are absolutely awesome. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Thanks for watching.